Hey Sunflowers, it's the Homesteading Kontessa and I'm back with another video. Today I just want to talk about my journey to health and what I plan on doing to take charge of that.
Hey, mm, hey, HK, yeah, we do it our way. Homestead dreams with a little sass sway. It's the homesteading Kontessa. Come on, take a peek. HK.
So guys, first before I start talking, I just want you to forgive that you may hear my smoke detector go off. That's like a never-ending battery. I need to stop buying my batteries from Dollar Tree. That's probably like the number one reason why you hear it in most of my videos, because I be buying dollar store batteries and they don't last too long when it comes to that type of thing. They're good for like remote controls, but when it comes to like your smoke detector, I'm gonna put it on my to-do list to get a better battery. And it's like getting late. I think it's 7:30. So the sun is going down and you hear the summer bugs out there. So enjoy those sounds. But anyway, as you seen in my last video, me and my best friend, we went walking. She started back walking. I'm not for sure how long she's been walking consistently, but I know it's been, some months that she's been doing it without me. And this is usually something we do together. This is something she likes to do, for health, for relaxation, just, to be one with yourself and just to just have that peace of just being still and just being one with yourself and nature. So I've been on vacation. I bet you guys think I always go on vacation. I've been in my job so long that, I accrued all these vacation times. So the students were out for like a fall break, and I took basically 4 days, 3 days. So it's like a mini staycation because we were out for Labor Day, and then I went in on Wednesday because my supervisor needed me to. That's another story. And basically I'm off for the rest of the week. So but yeah, the people that are on my channel, you either share some interest of positivity, gardening, you maybe have a farm, you homestead, you have something that attracted you to this channel, and I am so grateful and thankful that you are here. So being a gardener, being a homesteader, being a farmer, being whatever title you claim or you attach to yourself, it's not easy. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of physical work. It's a lot of sweat. Sometimes it's tears. And with that being said, it's important to be healthy. I've battled with my health as far as wanting to lose weight for like looks, and now I'm at an age to where I'm really doing it for health. I haven't shared like with a lot of people like my health status. I'm fairly healthy. I do have sicknesses that are, you know how you have family illnesses where like you may have diabetes in your family, you may have heart disease in your family. Those things are definitely in my family. I remember when I just went to college to get my associates, I did like a thesis on diabetes. Is it a learned behavior, or is it actually something that's medically that just happens to you? Now, when I did my thesis, I'm not talking about type 1 diabetes. I was talking about type 2. Now, type 1, we know that, the pancreas is not working And, babies can get type 1 before they even have such thing as a bad diet. And type 2 diabetes, with my thesis, I kind of played with that we basically do things for tradition. We eat foods that our family prepared. We have that famous meal that your mom made, or that your dad made, or that your grandma made, and you pass it on down the line. You develop a certain way of cooking. Your cooking habits are usually similar to your parents' cooking habits, and that's what I mean by learned behavior, because how I cook is essentially how my kids would cook. And what you teach your kids is what essentially they'll teach their kids. Sometimes we grow past things where, let's say, I'll say my older sister, for example, she was aware at a very young age that she didn't want to get the illnesses that my family has. As far as our grandma having diabetes, having heart problems, our mom having the same thing. She saw this and she was like, I know it's in my bloodline. Let me do something now to countersue that, so I can basically not fall in that medical of illnesses. Me, on the other hand, I did not take heed of those things. And I end up being diagnosed 2 years. I say 2 years ago. Forgive me when it comes to timelines, because I just be saying anything sometimes. But I was diagnosed maybe 4 years ago. I was borderline diabetic, and then when I went to my visit, they check your A1C, and then I was a 6.5, which makes you a diabetic. Me having diabetes have never been out of control. Basically, my numbers have always been good. It's just since I hit that 6.5, then legally on the medical record, that's what I am. Now, people want to say, oh, with people with diabetes, you ate too much sugar or whatever. And that's not always the case. Sometimes, it's things that breaks down into sugars that make you end up getting those high readings like that. When I first was diagnosed with diabetes, I really researched it. And I have somebody that's my family that's true and dear to me that was diagnosed first. And then that's when I said, I need to know everything I need to know about these illnesses. So I found that basically everything around us, from the things we drink, from the things that we eat, snack on, is just hurting us. Sometimes people buy like protein shakes and protein powders, and if you're not careful, some of those things have a lot of things that are not good for you in it. So basically, just not to keep rambling about it, I just started taking charge of my health at that moment. We basically stopped drinking sugary sodas. If we want a soda, we would do 0 sugar. Sometimes diet, and I know people say, well, diet sodas are not good for you, zeros are not good for you, but it's better than the alternative. I'm familiar with the aspartame that is in some of the sugar-free substitutes, and it's like, if you go down a rabbit hole, water is not even good for you, because I've seen where people did these pH level tests on water and do those strips, and most of the leading waters that we drink wasn't even meeting the criteria. So our air is polluted. So with all that being said, you just gotta, do things in a magic word. We always say moderation, right? So I decided I'm going to share a little more of my health journey on my channel. my channel won't be all about that. You know, of course, I'm going to still be doing my gardening. But if you read my description, if you never read my description on my YouTube, please go and read it. This channel is all about homesteading, simple life. It's about lifestyle. This is my life, you know. I also have high blood pressure. I basically diagnosed myself with high blood pressure. When I went to the doctor, they would check my blood pressure. I would always come from work when I go to my doctor's appointment. And it's like, how do you not have high blood pressure when you work? It's like, my job, although that I love what I do, is very demanding, very stressful. And I believe that's what caused me to have high blood pressure, being a teacher, you know, dealing with different personalities, teaching, repeating. And I think that's really, all this time I went without it. You know, I checked my blood pressure before. When we go to Walmart, stick my arm in there, check my blood pressure, be okay. But as soon as I started teaching, I have high blood pressure. And then other things with my job, but we won't go that deep in this video, that caused me to have high blood pressure. Now, that's the only thing I don't have under control, because I do take medicine for it. My doctor, my first doctor, wouldn't even give me medicine. This video will be too long if I just tell you the troubles I went through to actually have somebody to take me serious. I don't know if you ever heard, you know, if you're not a black woman, if you are a black woman, you know exactly what I'm about to say. But if you're not and you're listening to this video, sometimes black women are viewed as so strong that we can go through anything, and we don't have pain, and we don't have struggles, and we don't need to be listened to when it comes to these doctor visits. I remember when I went to the doctor and I told them I was having severe pains in my pelvic. Well, before I said the severe pains, I remember telling my doctor I had heavy blood clots. And my doctor's like, oh, you're just getting older. That's why, you know. And I'm like, oh, my doctor said I'm just getting older. So what I do, tell everybody, I'm just getting older. That's why I have blood clots. Then the pelvic pain started. And I'm like, this ain't right. This just doesn't feel right, you know. Listen to your bodies, ladies, because I went to the doctor and I come to find out that I had fibroids, and I end up getting a hysterectomy and had my uterus removed and parts of my ovaries. So all this time they telling me, it's your age, you're just getting older. And oh, when I went in for pain, they treated me like I was in there just for a doctor's excuse. And it's like, I have good insurance. I don't know why I was taken seriously. They even had me in a waiting room holding my own urine. And I remember going up to the counter. I went in at 1 o'clock p.m. This was close to midnight. 1 o'clock p.m., midnight, emergency room. And because when you try to make a doctor's appointment, they're not swift. They're like, you can try to make one now and you get it 3 weeks later. You know, so I needed to be seen right away because I was in pain. And I told the lady, I said, I'm standing up. I don't have any seats because the waiting room was full. And I said, and I'm holding my own urine. I was like, why am I said, I checked in at 1 o'clock and it is midnight and I have not been seen yet, besides the checking me in and having me pee in a cup. And then you have me hold my own cup. And she was like, well, they're putting people ahead that's more, you know, basically important. And then I'm like, but if you keep doing that according to what you think is important, I would never be seen. I checked in at 1 o'clock. So they dragged a chair out there for me to sit down. And then finally, they called me to the back. But it took me to complain and get a little upset to get some act right. But they did a pelvic ultrasound and found a mass of 14 centimeters. And that was how big that fibroid was. And if you don't know what 14 centimeters look like, they compared it to the size of a mango. A mango, the fruit. And I don't know how long it's been growing in my body, but these things could have been prevented had they just listened to me at my doctor's appointment when I told them I was having heavy blood clots. If I'm telling you that, I just advocate for yourself. If you're watching this video and you're experiencing any of those things, make your appointment and advocate for yourself. Get mad, get a little loud, because that's the only way sometimes they'll hear you. And stand up for yourself, because they will just drag you around, you know, and you won't even get seen like you need to get seen. But some of the things that I plan on doing to change, to, you know, help my lifestyle, I am very active. I don't even understand why I'm plus size, to be honest, because anybody who knows me knows that I am very active. So I don't know if my metabolism is like a turtle or what, because I am very active and I don't eat a whole lot. It may seem like it, but it's far from the truth. And I told my doctor that before. I was like, I don't know why I have these sicknesses. I said, because I don't even eat all that stuff that you would think that would cause you to do that. And when I told my doctor that, well, this wasn't actually my doctor, this was a lady that was a doctor at a hospital when I went in for high blood pressure, because I had a moment to where I was feeling bleary-eyed and everything. And she was like, that can happen to where you can get it because, you know, it's hereditary, and that it just happens to you, because sometimes I be feeling like an old lady when it comes to my blood pressure, because certain things will happen and then my eyes will be blurry, I'll feel dizzy, and I'm like, I am, you know, gardening, I'm sitting down, I'm breathing, I'm taking multivitamins. I'm like, what is it? But so it brings me to this point now to where I'm just like, you know, they always say lose weight. Every time I go to the doctor, they, of course, they tell me to lose weight, and that's what I'm currently I want to work on. And I'm making this video to you, so that way maybe somebody's out there feeling the same way as me. And maybe you are having problems to where you're like, where do I start? You just start, you know. Today, I decided to write like a few things down of what I want to include in my diet that I haven't included before, and what I want to kind of minimize to where I'm not eating it as much. I want to have more beets in my diet. Yes, beets, beets. Beets are good for heart health, and it's a superfood. So I actually planted some in my garden about, I say about 2-3 days ago. That's a root vegetable, so it's perfect for fall crops. So when I get those beets growing, they'll be homegrown, and then I can eat them raw, and I can put them in a smoothie, and I can make my own beet chews, you know. So I'm going to definitely be walking more and increase that cardio. And I'm always drinking water. Like, if I don't have my hydro jug, it's not sponsored, but I drink 40 ounces of this every day. Right now, you would think pink my favorite color. It's starting to be. It seems like it. I say lavender, but I've been getting everything pink lately. This was full, and now it's down to here. I'll be finishing this plain water, nothing in it. And when I bought this cup, I said, I'm not going to put nothing in it but water, and I stayed true to that. So only water going here, plain ice water, lemon water, stuff like that. I found if I get stuff like this, is it helps me drink water, you know. Who doesn't like something cute while you're drinking, right? So get get you one of these girlies that leak proof. Like I said, it's not sponsored, but and then this one came from the Dollar Tree. It actually had like this little holder thing that I took off because I put it out in my little baggie for when I go walking. I just put that in there, or I use my other cup that I have. I have so many cups. It's ridiculous. I have too many cups. I'm a cup hoarder, and I'm proud of it. But yeah, I know that I have a few people in my family. They are having trouble like with their knees, and I've heard that when you have knee problems, oh my gosh, that is the worst pain ever. And I am trying to do everything I can to avoid that. So if dropping a few pounds will help me, that's what I need to do, because the people I know that have experienced that, it ain't pretty. I know 2 people who already had surgery on their knees because of how painful it was. And then I know somebody who currently needs knee surgery. So we just got to invest in ourselves, guys. You got to get you a good mattress. You have to get you some good shoes. Let's talk about getting good shoes. Now, when my husband, if you've been watching my video, you know my husband had a spinal surgery. And when he was in rehab, I was looking at all the ladies' feet and the doctors and the male feet. And I noticed everybody had thick soles on their feet. And these people, they basically are trying to rehabilitate you into being able to walk, be able to use your motor skills in your legs. So if I'm thinking, I've been wearing these shoes that are flat, that's not giving me no type of support, and I wonder why my back hurt and my body tired when I get home. So that was a year ago. Hindsight now, all my shoes that I wear are thick sole shoes. Particular brand that I like is the Hokas. I don't know if you ever heard of Hokas. I think it's spelled Hokas. Those shoes, they have some that are cute. When I first saw them, I was like, you gotta look through. That's not sponsored either, but you have to look through their catalog. But when I tell you, those Hoka shoes, they feel so comfy. I have a wide feet, and when I tell you, when I first put my feet in those shoes, I feel like I was walking on clouds. Now I heard some other brands that their shoes are comfortable too, but I haven't tried those brands yet, so I can't really say anything about it. But if you're walking on flat shoes, make sure you got you a good thick sole. Spend the money, to invest in your feet, because your feet is holding up your body. So if you got some good shoes, you're gonna have good leg support, good feet support, good knee support, good back support. It's all connected. With your mattress, you have good stability while you're sleeping, a good pillow. I mean, if you're not sleeping on a good mattress, my mattress is okay, but it's not what I need. I need something that's gonna be, I want one of those sleep mattresses where you can adjust, your like the feel of it, or just a really good mattress. When I do invest in me a mattress, it's gonna be a really good one, and I'm not gonna spare the cost of it, because that is an investment. So that's something that is gonna make me feel better physically. That way I can be more productive during the day. So yeah, guys, share some of your things that you're doing. I am gonna go live for September. We did live for the first time in August, and I shared my song Roots and Rhythm. If you don't know about this song, it's on all streaming platforms. Just type in Roots and Rhythm by Kontessa, Kontessa Brown, that's me, THK. And check it out and stream it. It doesn't even cost much. Just stream it and put it on your playlist. And when you're walking and exercising, then play my song. And But yeah, I forgot I started telling y'all about, oh yeah, my live. So I'm gonna do a live in September. September's running out fast. These months are just flying by, right? So in that live, I want us to talk about health. I want us to share like our stories, share like what have you done in the past that hasn't worked and that has worked. So get out your journals and write your questions down, write things that you want to share, and be a vessel, be an instrument. Share your knowledge that you know, and maybe you'll help somebody. So when I do that live, I just want us to get on there, positivity, and just, encourage and uplift each other. That way, you never know what a simple, kind word could do for somebody. So, but sunflowers, I think that's gonna be it for tonight. I just wanted to sit on here since I shared a little bit about my health in my comments from my previous video. I decided to get on here today and just really sit and talk to you guys. I'm always outside in the garden, but I said, let me talk to you guys and tell you a little more about me when it comes to that. At first, I was like, kind of embarrassed to say something about it and kind of not. I was on the fence, I was just like, I don't want nobody judging me. And then I was like, I don't want to be a pity party, because half the time I forget that I have it, because like I said, it's under control. I don't have to take injections or nothing like that. My doctor doesn't even tell me to prick my finger. Basically just be mindful of what I put into my body. Last time I went to my doctor's visit, it was under 6.5. But as long as, once they hit you 6.5 as far as your A1C, then you're just considered that, no matter if it stays under control. I know that people like to say that they reverse diabetes, which you can, where you can reverse it to where you don't need medication. But on your medical records, you will still, I've heard that you would always be still considered, that even if you never have to take any medication for it. Yeah, but I think that's it that I want to share with you guys. I'm looking forward for the fall season. It's my favorite time of the year. I think we'll do some DIY projects, and guys, next weekend I'll be doing a farmer's market here in my city. This would be my third time doing a retractor supply, so I'll take you guys with me so you can see my setup. And this is the first time I'll be appearing as the Homesteading Kontessa. Normally it was under my old name, Regular Girl Skin, and the year before it was Regular Girl Cosmetics. So I told them, I said, this is the name, the Homesteading Kontessa, and they love it. It really fits my vibe and who I am, and it just embodies what I want my image to be. So I can't wait to go and see my repeat buyers, and I am practicing sourdough bread. I'll post a picture here of my first successful sourdough bread. I call her Mrs. Doughfire, and I got that name. Remember Mrs. Doubtfire? That show with Robin, I forgot his name, rest his soul. But I call my sourdough starter Mrs. Dough Fire, because she is fire. The first time I tried to do sourdough, I tried to build my own, didn't work out. So I ended up buying a starter from Amazon from this brand called San Francisco something. And it's basically a dehydrated starter that you have to rehydrate and feed for about a week until it gets active again, and then you can use it. So that worked out great for me. So I will be experimenting, doing different things. I've already been using my discard, making pancakes, and I want to make crackers with it. I want to make sourdough cookies. The thing is limitless that I want to do with that. And I also want to do things to where I can kind of change it and make it a little healthier. I know sourdough bread is healthier for you. They say it's good for your gut health, and it's lighter on your stomach. One of the things I want to take to the farmer's market that I'll be messing with this weekend for the first time is blueberry lavender jam. So I don't know how that's gonna taste. I got everything to make it, and I'll be experimenting with that tomorrow. Hopefully it tastes good, because I have a hard time selling something I don't like. Even if other people like it, if I don't like it myself, it's hard for me to sell it. So, but blueberry lavender jam, I didn't make that up. I actually saw a recipe on Pinterest, and I'm gonna try it out, because at farmers markets, you know, people like to try things that are different. Of course, I'm gonna have my skincare products. I might not have any eggs, because I don't think I have a lot of eggs to even just take up there. We'll see. What else? I'm gonna take garden seeds. I plan on making some old-fashioned tea cakes. I've never made those before, but I've had really good old-fashioned tea cakes, and I feel like those would be, you know, old-fashioned tea cakes, blueberry jam, lavender jam. That's, you know, the lavender part is making it different. I feel like that'll be something good to bring. So, in my cute little mason jars. But, all right, sunflowers, that's it. I done said that like 3 times, right? Me, I don't know I can talk. But in the meantime, be kind to each other and be healthy, and don't be a stranger. Bye for now.